On July 28th, I checked in to our hotel on the final day of a trip across Japan. My mobile data was out, the hotel Wi-Fi wasn't working, with nothing else to do. I started filming the room and spontaneously turned on the TV.
Oh, okay, that's a bit different from what I was expecting. It's an earthquake in Kumamoto. Yatsushiro. Oh my word.
What came on screen was my first look at the Kumamoto earthquake, just 40 minutes after it struck near Yatsushiro. Buildings damaged, roads severed, and 39 lives lost. But what struck me most was the location of the epicentre. It hit the exact stretch of coast I had just passed through a few weeks prior, a major transport hub that was suddenly brought to a complete standstill, and that was the area around Shin-Yatsushiro Station. Now, I didn't visit expecting a disaster. I was simply just passing through Yatsushiro to reach another story for the south, and my original plan was to cover that entire journey in a single video. But much of the rail infrastructure I used on that trip was destroyed in an instant and remains out of commission today. So before we reach our destination, I want to show you what this line was like right before it vanished, the infrastructure now left unusable, and the quiet impact on a region forced to rebuild once again. Our journey today will take us across the south of the prefecture. We start at Hitoyoshi, a city already devastated by a prior disaster resulting in its train lines being wiped out. Therefore, we'll instead take a highway bus up to Shin-Yatsushiro Station. A short ride on the Kagoshima main line brings us down to Yatsushiro Station, where we complete the remainder of our trip using the Hisatsu Orange Railway. And as we'll explain, every one of these transport options has been damaged and suspended due to the earthquake. The bus we're currently riding is the BNS Miyazaki, meant to connect Kumamoto and Miyazaki. The idea is that you buy one ticket which lets you ride both the bus and then the Shinkansen up to Kumamoto from Shin-Yatsushiro Station. However, as of writing, this service has been suspended until the end of August 2026, with the continuation of service after then still uncertain.
Sorry, I couldn't actually get the footage of the bus popping in because this actually isn't my bus. I came in like 30 minutes later, and then 10 minutes after arriving, this bus came, which I think was the bus from like an hour before. So this bus is incredibly early, but they said, oh no, you can ride, it's fine, just hop on here. And here I am. I don't know what the people here are doing when transferring to Shinkansen. They must be really stuffed because it's super late. But for us, let's just relax for, I think it's around 40 minutes to Shin-Yatsushiro Eki. Alrighty, and after a brisk ride on the bus, we're at Shin-Yatsushiro Station, a Shinkansen stop, in addition to also serving local lines. Now, there are two ways we can get to Minamata, which is our destination for today. We can take the Shinkansen, actually. Shinkansen goes all the way to, well, it goes obviously down to Kagoshima, but there's a stop in Shin-Minamata Station. Or we can take a local line down there, and that's what I'm going to do because, let's be real, it's far more interesting, isn't it? So that's where you go if you want to go on the Shinkansen, but for us, we need to go somewhere down here. We'll figure it out. Wait, okay, here it is. So right now, if I quickly whip out my phone, it is 2:44. So we're going to be taking this one here, which is 3:01. How on earth do we get to the... Wait, I'm really confused. Okay, this is the entrance. So I saw the platform back there and I thought that's where I need to go. So the thing with the local line we're taking is that I can't actually take one train or even one operator down to Minamata, and that's basically because when the Shinkansen here was built, obviously what often happens is the Shinkansen takes up all the money-making customers. And what I mean is that all the valuable routes are between the big cities, which is what the Shinkansen covers. So the local line that used to serve the area now only becomes useful for the small stations which aren't served by it. And basically, for JR Kyushu, they don't really want to have to operate those unprofitable lines. And so what often happens is that they either close it or it becomes a third sector operator. And what's happened in the case of the line we're taking today is that up to Yatsushiro, just the normal Yatsushiro station, that's still JR, but then from there it's the Orange Railway. And that's what we will be taking. Please pronounce your words properly, Brandon. So I could theoretically buy a ticket, but again, this is, I think, only for, this isn't for the Orange Railway, the Orange Railway. If I just take a look here, yeah, this is all just JR. So what I'm going to do, up until Yatsushiro, I will be using good old IC card. But then apart from that, well, at the Orange Railway, I guess we're just going to have to ask someone to buy a ticket. Oh, my IC card's a bit low.
So as I mentioned, Shin-Yatsushiro Station serves as both the Shinkansen and Kagoshima Main Line, but as of recording, both of these has been suspended up to and around Shin-Yatsushiro Station, leaving the area isolated.
And within about like 3 or 4 minutes, we're here at Yatsushiro Station, the main, I guess, station of Yatsushiro, which I honestly don't really know much about. Anyways, what we need to do is, I'm looking at it right now, we need to transfer to the Hisatsu Orange Tetsudo, which, as I mentioned, is a different third sector operator. They operate their own trains, and I can see it's really full in, and it looks very interesting indeed. So first, let's get our tickets, let's hop on. So here we are, it's the Orange Tetsudo. Look at that design. I mean, we're in Kumamoto, so they've obviously decked it up with a load of Kumamons, which I believe is like the highest gross revenue mascot in all of Japan, if not the world. So in terms of the Hisatsu Orange Tetsudo, what it's all about, I mean, apart from its history, I'm not awfully, how do I say, not awfully, God, I've forgotten English, not awfully well informed. It's as terms, you know, what it's all about. But I mean, hey, you know, even I like to have, you know, see some surprises once in a while.
So Yatsushiro Station has also had its fair share of damage, with a freight train being overturned from its tracks here and the neighbouring factory housing some of the largest casualties of the earthquake after a chimney collapsed and fell onto its structure, killing 9. Nearby is also where you may have seen this collapsed shrine in the middle of its castle ruins. So the Hisatsu Orange Railway stretches from Yatsushiro down to Sendai, Kagoshima, having formerly been part of the Kagoshima Main Line. And much like the infrastructure of this area, it has also been disrupted by the earthquake. In fact, the exact portion up to Minamata we'll be riding today has been suspended with twisted tracks and collapsed wires, meaning it's estimated to take an extended period of time to repair. Now, for this part of the video, I'm going to be relying really heavily on the B-roll I took here. Remember, I had no plans to separate this portion of the video out, and so I didn't get off any stations or anything like that. But while you're watching this, I just want you to think, to see the places and people living their lives which has been dramatically disrupted by this earthquake. These are the scenes on the ground which you rarely see on the news, which are now unable to continue on as normal. So just please take it in and just think about the impact of not just this disaster, but of all the disasters that are going on around the world.
まに明日以降の台風が高接近に伴う運転計画。
はい、ありがとうございます。We finally arrived at Minamata. Only took about 2 hours, which is about maybe 6 times longer than it would have taken to get on the Shinkansen and then go to Shin Minamata, which was 1 stop back.
Alright, so apologies for suddenly cutting off here, but given we'll be covering this area in the next video, I'll be ending things off here. We've got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about around this area, so I do hope you'll look forward to it. But for now, I hope it's been interesting getting a look on the ground level at an area devastated by an earthquake. And while it's fallen out of the news cycle, certainly overseas, thousands are still sheltering in refugee shelters and many more still cannot see the light at the end of this tunnel. That is a return to normal life. For now though, that'll be the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed, but for now, stay safe and have a good one.